all of this is true.
In 2026, Steven Spielberg said something no major Hollywood director has ever said about one of his own films. He looked straight into the camera and called his new movie, Disclosure Day, my first film that will be considered science fiction that I do not consider to be science fiction. From Close Encounters of the Third Kind in 1977 to E.T. in 1982, and now Disclosure Day in 2026, Spielberg's alien films have mirrored real government UFO cases with shocking accuracy for nearly 50 years. Let's look at the pattern. In 1977, Close Encounters of the Third Kind showed government cover-ups, ordinary people drawn to mysterious lights in the sky, and a massive mothership landing. Spielberg worked directly with astronomer J. Allen Hynek, who had investigated UFOs for the Air Force's Project Blue Book. Many of the film's scenes were inspired by actual reported cases. Then in 1982 came E.T. the Extraterrestrial, where government agents secretly hunt down and try to contain a friendly alien while hiding everything from the public. These themes of secrecy and containment have appeared repeatedly in Pentagon UAP reports and Navy pilot testimonies since 2017. Now in June 2026, Spielberg releases Disclosure Day, a film literally about the day the government finally reveals the truth about extraterrestrials. The timing is striking. New UAP files dropped in May 2026, just weeks before the movie's release. In recent interviews, including the powerful new AP conversation and his Fandango interview, Spielberg has been unusually direct. He said Disclosure Day is much more reflective of the world as it is evolving and discoveries that are being made as we speak.
Well, it's hard for me to describe it in those terms. It's easier for me to describe it as, my first film that will be, considered science fiction that I do not consider to be science fiction. It's much more reflective of the world as it is evolving and discoveries that are being made as we speak.
Most interestingly, he said, I really believe that things that I was only hoping were true back then are things that are actually happening now today.
Excited for this movie. Listen, I've been a fan of your filmography for forever, and I think it's crazy to think it's been a while since you've gone back into sci-fi, aliens, and invasion. So I'd love to hear what was the lightning spark. What sort of made you say this is the time to, I don't know, go back to it?
Well, when I was making Close Encounters, which is 50 years ago.
Don't say that.
50 years ago is when we were filming, and it came out in, 1977. So when I was making that film, I did a lot of research, and I really got to the edge of really believing that something was happening in our skies that we weren't being told about. But the imaginative part of Close Encounters kind of captured me, and I wrote it from my heart. It was sort of a wish fulfillment story, hoping that maybe a little bit of what I'm talking about in this picture might be true, but wasn't sure back then. And then 50 years goes by, and I made Disclosure Day because I really believe that things that I was only hoping were true back then are things that are actually happening now, today.
When the day comes that we do get disclosure that aliens are real, how do you think that should be rolled out? And how do you think the information could come out? Because we know how you feel about the aliens. I don't know how you feel, but if we come to the moment, what do you think is going to happen?
Well, if we ever come to that moment, which I think we should, we certainly all deserve to know. All I can say is when that moment comes and we all sort of start to, the people in the know what day it's going to be that they disclose this, people will be saying in the know, well, there's going to be no date like tomorrow.
There will be no other day like tomorrow.
Spielberg also has deep connections. In 1982, he personally screened E.T. at the White House for President Ronald Reagan. After the movie ended, Reagan stood up, looked around the room, and said without smiling, "There are a number of people in this room who know that everything on that screen is absolutely true." The whole room laughed, but Reagan wasn't smiling. Even more intriguing, in 1987, Ronald Reagan gave a famous speech at the United Nations where he said, "I occasionally think how quickly our differences worldwide would vanish if we were facing an alien threat from outside this world."
Perhaps we need some outside universal threat. I occasionally think how quickly our differences worldwide would vanish if we were facing an alien threat from outside this world. And yet, I ask you, is not an alien force already among us? What could be more alien to the universal aspirations of our peoples than war and the threat of war.
Spielberg has also spoken multiple times about believing some UFOs could be future humans, time travelers from hundreds of thousands of years ahead coming back to study us. This is the kind of story Popping Corn was made for. So after nearly 5 decades of movies that feel more and more prophetic, perfectly timed government file drops, and recent interviews where he openly says this new film is closer to reality than fiction, the big question is this: is Steven Spielberg just a filmmaker with perfect instincts, or was he quietly given information over the years to help prepare the public through his work? From Close Encounters, mirroring real sightings, to E.T. showing government secrecy, to Disclosure Day arriving at this exact moment with Spielberg hinting it's much closer to truth than fiction, the pattern is impossible to ignore. So what do you think? Has Spielberg been helping soften the blow of disclosure this whole time, or is he simply the greatest guesser in Hollywood history? Drop your theory in the comments, team he knows something, or team pure genius storyteller.
I can see them.
I am much more inclined now than I was when I made Close Encounters to really believe that we're not the only intelligent civilization in the universe.
What did you steal?
Secrets. People have a right to know the truth.
This is a story about us, all of us,
Good morning, Kansas City.
up against the most extraordinary event in human history.
What's happening to me? I'm frightened. I'm frightened out of my wits.
You don't need to be. You have someone else.
Daniel Kellner,
Who is this?
do not go back to the house. They found you. I don't know who you are, but they're gonna kill you.
The human race cannot accept what we know. We need to stop it any way we can.
What am I doing? What am I doing? What am I doing? What am I doing?
This 79-year cover-up of the truth has to end.
We're interrupting our coverage.
How will disclosure change us? I believe for the better. It will remind us of our capacity for empathy, and that there is something bigger out there than just ourselves.
The only way to know your purpose is to go back to where it all began.
I know you.
I know you do. What happened to us?
I used to say to myself, wouldn't it be wonderful if all of this turned out to be true? I'm now thinking, wouldn't it be wonderful for people to know
They're coming.
all of this is true?